welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you may already have noticed. And today we are going to have a look at 3 different games again, which will be Magic Candy Garden, Cupcake Dash Factory and Dampfer Welle, which means Steamboat Wave. And yeah, I've got a couple of different things with me, of course, which is, of course, the Arc mouse, you already know about that. I'm going to use the Foldable keyboard, which is this one, and there could be the Xbox One wireless controller, which is even a little bit compatible with the last game we are going to play today. I might show it to you, but in the end I think it's a little bit too much limited, so we want to use it with the mouse or the keyboard in this case, so we can really play it in a better way. But we might have a look at that too. Of course, as you already know, we are going to use the Lumia 950 XL on this channel, which is this smartphone here. It's a Lumia 950 XL by Microsoft, which has a USB-C connector at the bottom and is Continuum enabled, and like that we can use this smartphone in comparison, or in combination, better to say, with this little display dock I have at the side here, to bring more or less this kind of desktop-like experience to the big screen, and for instance use the different input devices we have seen here to, for instance, use it more or less like a desktop. And if you want to know more about that, please have a look at the top there. They will have a couple of different other videos where I'm going to show you something more and in depth about all that. And other than that, let's start with the first game today. And the first game is going to be Magic Candy Garden. I'm going to go to my all apps list in this case, clicking on here, and it should be up here somewhere. There it is already. Magic Candy Garden. Magic Candy Garden is some kind of a game. It could be played by children, for instance, or by more or older people. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, it's very, very nicely drawn stuff. There should be some kind of music too, as you can see here. And in the end, what's going to happen here is you have to plant more or less sweets and stuff like that. And it's a really, really nice concept, and every child would really love it to be like that. It's of course not like that, but it's very, very fun to play. I'm going to turn around to show you everything, and in the end, it's a pretty easy game to play, so everybody could play it. And all what you are going to have to do here is you are going to have to feed this little cat different candies, and the cat is going to ask for different things here. And there is an intro if you're playing this for the first time, where you are going to get some kind of information, so the tutorial more or less. In the end, what you have to do is just click somewhere here, and as you can see, you are going to get some kind of a hole here, which is going to be digged, and now you should put something in. So click on it, and as you can see, there are a couple of different candies available. Some have to be unlocked, some are already there. And now, if you have a look at, let's go back here. If you have a look at what she wants to have, it's more or less this kind of candy stuff. So it would be this one. We have enough money to do that, but I'm going to show you first how I got that money. So what you have to do is you are going to get some kind of a candy. For instance, this one looks like a lemon or something. Not a lemon. A melon. Sorry, a melon. And so you have to combine 2 different things. So some kind of a base unit, more or less, base candy, and then some kind of a flavor, for instance lemon or citron, and some kind of strawberry in this case. I'm going to add those two. It doesn't matter because the cat don't want anything of that at the moment. And now you're going to have to more or less close the hole again, and as you can see, we now created some kind of a new lemon part. This one is going to be growing now. So what you have to do to help it grow, you have to use, for instance, this clouds here to get all the stuff up. Then you need to put sun on it. So just drag and drop all the different things down. And this has to be done 2 times. As you can see, there's some kind of a shadow on the ground, and you have to really hit that one. So try to align the shadow with the plant you're going to try here. And as you can see, there is a plant now, and the plant is going to grow some kind of candy now on it. And now click on it, and now you can, for instance, put on some kind of sugar pills and stuff like that. So just click on that, and now you can just put them like a sticker, more or less, on the stuff here, as often as you might want. It really doesn't matter if you ask me. And if you are ready, just go out and collect them. Collecting is done by just clicking on it, and then you can, for instance, try to feed the stuff to the cat. I'm not sure what she's going to do now. Does he not like it? Yeah, she likes it anyway, and you can see if you feed her, then you are going to receive some kind of money, and like that you're getting this kind of money, and can, for instance, buy new stuff in the store like this. And here you can see, this is not the store, sorry. This is more or less a book where you see what you already got and what you can get later on. As you can see, there are a couple of different other fruits available and stuff like that. But in the end, this is a game, so it's going to be all of this all over again. And if you want to, for instance, plant something new, just click on that there. Interesting. Okay. And then, for instance, you can spend money to get new candy like this one, and just put it in. And as you can see, we now have 15 left, so you don't have to buy it all or something. You can really just grow the stuff one after each other, and that should be fine too. And by dragging and dropping this stuff around, it should work too, to get the different candy kinds. Yeah, and this is more or less what this game is all about. So we could go on and on and on here. In this case, as you can see now, it's a candy she wishes to get. Let's try. Let's make that. For some reason, there's some kind of flower. What is this? In some situations, you can drag it away, as you can see. Okay. So it seems to be that there can be some kind of Unkraut, whatever that is called in English. So plants you don't want in your garden. So you can really get rid of that too, which is fine for it. A very, very beautiful flower, if you ask me. Yeah, there you go. And we got our little stuff here too. And as mentioned before, you can put something on it, you don't have to. You can, for instance, just keep it like that. And yeah, here you see what can happen in between. It's not very often, as you already have seen, but it can be that you are hitting some kind of a counter there, and then you will have to watch one of these advertisements. It's really not bad, but the worst thing about it is you can't really get rid of it, and it's going to try to bring you to the store anyway, no matter what you're going to try there. But in the end, it's really not that hard to overcome and work with, so it really doesn't matter. So let's give our little cat what she wants here. Yeah, here you can see if you, for instance, drag in the wrong way, then you might not get all of it. So drag it up and then put it in. Yeah, and she really likes it, as you can see. There you go. Here we have a new kind of bad thing we don't want here. And yeah, this is more or less what the game is all about. Just try it out, do it if you want to, gain some money, and just try to feed the small little sweet cat here. And she will be thankful for that and give you money for that. That's all what this game is all about. Okay, so let's have a look at the second game in our mashup today, and that is Cupcake Dash Factory. it's a pretty strange game somehow. I had to try it out for a couple of times before I really got what this game is all about. So let's see if you can guess what you have to do here. So let's go to the all apps list in this case, and then Cupcake, factory, sweet, funny platform game, whatever. It's not a jump and run game or something. It's really something very, very different. I'm not really sure how to tell you, but I'm going to show you. Okay, here you can see it's done in a pretty nice way. These are more or less the different levels you are going to play, more or less. And as you can see, you will have a couple of different ones which are not available at the start, but there are, at the start, one is available and it's going on like this. Let's have a look at the options here to switch it over to English, if I can. Yeah. And of course you can, for instance, shut down the sound or not, and you can do control stuff here, so put on controls in a different way, so switch the controlling mode. I'm going to use my mouse in this case. We don't, or the mouse here, we don't really have to do that, but in this case it's a good idea to do that. And now let's have a look at the first option, or the first level here. Okay, all you will have to do here is to create this kind of stuff. And as you can see, there are buttons or swipes, but the swipes are not going to work with the mouse, so use the buttons to play in this game. And what you can see here is we have more or less a factory. So here is the start of the factory, and here is the end of the factory. What you will have to do at first is you will have to get 2 of the different cupcakes through the whole factory to be finished. In between there are going to be those bomb things, whatever that is, but it's really there. And you really have to have a look at them and try to bring them through too, because otherwise you're going to lose all what you have done till now in this level. Okay, so let's start with it, level 1. As you can see, this is our little guy here. And here's another little guy who's working here. And what you are going to have to do is 120 seconds you got. And you will have to align more or less how those guys are going to work here. And as you can see, you will have to, yeah, and there we go, bomb killed everything. And you will have to put them in the right level, more or less. And that's more or less what this game is all about. Bring them in the right level, because each and every one of those will put them 1 up, more or less, if he is receiving them. And then you are going to try to bring them over to the next level. And if you get 2 of those guys through the whole thing here, so he can put it up there and it's going to fall down. Now we should have won. Yeah. Okay, so 2 times of the cupcakes have been secured, and as you can see, you're really going to have to level those little guys up and down, and that's all what this game is all about. It's a very, very strange concept somehow, but fun. I think it's pretty fun. And a nice little addition here, so I didn't really get what the game was all about at the start, but it works. And it's somehow fun to play, so try it out. I really liked it. And as I mentioned before, there are a couple of different levels here, so if you want to play on, just play on. Yes, then let's have a look at the last entry in our episode today, and that is going to be Dampfer Welle, or as I already mentioned, translated that means steamboat wave. And yeah, in the end you're going to drive a steamboat around in 3D, and you will have to just more or less discover the Bremerhaven, which is a German big harbor in the north of Germany. And so let's have a look at that and see what's going on there. It's really a fun game somehow. You really have to discover everything, and it's really done like that. It's not about fighting or something, it's just a discovery game. And you really have to try to navigate through different obstacles and stuff like that with the little guy here. Yeah, and as you can see, we can play this in different languages. There's very nice music in the background here. And we are going to play this in English in this case. You can play it in German, in English, in French, and in Spanish, as you can see. And here is a little bit of a history information about that. Because we are at 1915 in this case. And this is a Bereisungsdampfer, that means more or less a vacation boat or something like that, steam powered. And like that you can drive around, have different kind of things here, and it's fun to just drive around and see everything. And there are of course other options to use this. She performed successfully on many works, for instance the vacation services, and there's of course an icebreaker and stuff like that. Really nicely done, and just have a look at the different sites here and what is available to see. As you can see, there are 6 levels available. We are going to play the first, maybe the second, I'm not sure, but not much more. And so let's have a look at that. As mentioned before, we can use the Xbox One wireless controller for that. I'm going to show you why I'm not going to do that. The problem is that the Xbox One wireless controller doesn't have any kind of multiplier or something added to it, so it's pretty slow to drive around with that. It's possible, but it's pretty slow, and because of that I'm going to use the on-screen buttons and stuff to drive around and do stuff. But in the end you could do it, so let's see. First off, take course on the Old Arbor. So we have to go to the Old Arbor. As you can see, here is a little bit of a map. You should have a look at that. It's easier to drive around with that. You're starting here and you're going to have to go to this little side arm on the Bremerhaven in this case. So, cast off. I'm going to turn around. It's not even casting. I would have to do the trick again. The trick is you will, in most situations that's working, you will have to just shut your controller down one time and just reactivate it, and in many situations that should be working. If you're, for instance, attaching it before the game, it should be working too. In some situations it might not, but as you can see I can drive around now, but as you can see it's very slow driving and stuff like that. And even so, that might even be a little bit more realistically for a boat like that. I'm not going to play it like this because it's just too slow for that, and I don't see that there's any kind of option to increase the power here. As you can see over here, here is more or less how much power or how fast we're going to drive around here. But again, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to shut this down, otherwise it might interfere with the other stuff we're going to use here. So let's get rid of it. And I'm going to use this kind of on-screen part. And as you can see, this is the normal speed this boat is driving around. So we are not going to try to mess with the Xbox One wireless controller for this time. Even so, it's pretty sad that it's not working, because this would be a pretty nice game to play like this. As you can see, it's done in 3D, and we can now drive around here. And as you can see, there are some kind of barrels and sometimes some treasure parts in the water, and you should have a look and try to get them, because that will increase your score. And after that you are going to try to go to this more or less bullseye or whatever you want to call that, because there you will have to bring your ship. And the second level is more or less the same, but in this time we are not going to go to the old arbor, so not in here, but we are going to drive to the new one. So let's see where we have to go for that one. Okay, first off, it's a good idea, in most situations at least, to set him to start or end. So just click on that one or that one, otherwise you're not going to be able to play this, because this is more or less giving the ship the information in which direction you want to play or go. And if you click on that, then you can use that. And as you can see, there's this barrel swimming around. The barrels are more or less leading the way a little bit. So if you get the money from that, or the scores from them, that's fine and helps a lot. But you really should get them just to know where to go, otherwise it's a little bit harder to do this. And now let's see where we have to go. There's the information that we are going to go to the new arbor in this case. It's not really important if you are hitting something from time to time. Really doesn't matter that much. You're not going to sink as far as I have tried at least. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to drive around and do stuff. You don't have any kind of really hard to solve puzzles or something. Sometimes you just have to drive around and try to figure out where you have to go and stuff like that. But it's really a nice little thing if you like to drive around with a ship and or a boat in this case, and try to just see a little bit of the Bremerhaven, which is of course a very a slight iteration of it, or it may differ to the real one a little bit, but in the end it's a nice little game. So try it out. I think it's fun to play, and if you like boats and stuff like that, this might be a good game for you. So, other than that, I would say thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope you had a great time here. If you want to give this video a thumbs up, please don't forget to do that now. Of course, subscribe if you didn't, and of course, you might want to ask questions and stuff like that in the commentary section below. I'm trying to answer them as good as I can, of course. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see us in the next episode again, and so have a great time, a great week, and stay healthy, and we will see us in the next episode. Bye. Bye.